It's a pretty exciting time, especially for car nerds, as one of the all-time greatest car manufacturers has made a pretty big announcement. Yep, that's right, Ferrari recently announced that it'll be launching 15 cars with innovative technology by 2026. And it's not just this, the company will also be launching its first ever pure EV. Now that's something we like to hear. Today's video will cover everything about these cars and what to expect from them. First up, let's zoom into what's going on. Recent news has made it pretty clear that 2026 will be a mega year for Ferrari. The company won't only be releasing 15 brand new cars, but it's also set to electrify more than half of its lineup by then as well. And of course, how could we forget the fact that it'll also release an electronic vehicle, which is set to be the first of its kind. Sounds like a pretty ambitious goal. Will they be able to meet it though? That's the real question. Looking at Ferrari's stellar record of high-tech vehicles, we don't think the company has anything to worry about. But with its maiden EV coming out in 2025, all eyes are fixed on the company. It'll either be a major fail or the car will revolutionize the entire industry. That might just sound like an exaggeration, but it's definitely not. Ferrari has done it before, so who's to say they won't do it again? Here's what we know about the new models. With the world transitioning into electric vehicles, Ferrari is of course not going to be left behind. The execs have made up their mind, they're ready to take a step towards electricity. But here's the thing, Ferrari is not yet ready to leave behind the internal combustion engines, also known as ICE. So we can expect new tech with a slight splash from the olden tech. Seems like a fun compilation. From what's been revealed to the public, 40% of the cars will be ICE based, whereas 60% are going to be modernized with either electric or hybridized engines. Ferrari has teased that 3 powertrains with distinctive driving emotions will be present in their models. With this expansive brand portfolio, the company is well on its way to setting standards for vehicle manufacturers even higher. Next, let's take a closer look at the range of models being produced. Presently, we only know of 4 model lines that are in the production process. The models Ferrari Roma, Ferrari 812 Superfast, Ferrari 296 GTB, and Ferrari SF90 are already in production. They don't purely rely on combustion, but provide a hybrid blend as well. Through these models, Ferrari hopes to provide its customers with an enhanced ownership experience through which the company can cultivate better relationships with their clients. Ferrari aims to become carbon neutral by 2030, but we're slightly unsure about how the brand plans on achieving this, as calculations show that even in 2030, around 20% of the models sold will rely purely on combustion. That's not very good math at all. But with this increase in electrification, tells us the brand is on the right track. The performance, however, is very slow. That's not really a good sign for a company manufacturing race cars, if you ask us. Now, let's see how well Ferrari can manage in the world of EVs. With the launch of its first ever pure electric car in 2025, Ferrari sure has a lot on its plate. The company hasn't said much about this one-of-a-kind vehicle, but we know a few details. The engine of the electric car is supposed to share several similarities with the internal combustion engines. These include race-derived powertrain tech with mechanicals and dynamic software. Although the exact positioning details have yet to be revealed, customers have been promised a rather emotional driving experience. Now, we're sorta unsure as to what this means, but we'll assume it'll be different for all. Like, we'll probably end up crying because of the money it's bound to cost, whereas some might feel a rush of adrenaline because of the extremely smooth drive. Oh well. Anyways, the vehicle is also supposed to have an exciting sound. Now that can only mean it'll vroom in a cool way, unless Ferrari has found a new way to make talking cars. Now that would be a hoot. Apart from this, we also know that the car will have a low curb weight and top level power density. With these core qualities, it'll be pretty hard for everyone to miss out on such a vehicle. Ferrari truly knows what it's doing, and it's really good at it. The company has talked only slightly about the production process, probably because they're still ironing out some details or because they want it to be a surprise for all. But we do know that the batteries for this e-car will be assembled in a newly constructed e-building in Maranello. The company has recently built this facility solely for the design and construction purposes of the electric drivetrain components. Here, experts are going to make sure that the car's weight is kept down and the battery becomes increasingly rigid by placing them in the chassis, which is the load-bearing framework. The company is also working towards developing autonomous driving tech for its 2026 lineup. lineup. But, of course, they want to maintain driver focus, which is why autonomy will only be limited to level 2 or 2+. This might also just be their way of preventing tech from taking over. Whatever it is, we're happy that this function exists. Now, let's hear a bit more from Ferrari and see what's been up with the company. First up, we have Apple TV Plus giving Ferrari its own series. Yep, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. It was recently announced that Apple TV Plus greenlit a biopic on the life of Enzo Ferrari, the founder of the Italian car manufacturer. This series will give us insights into Ferrari's journey towards the formation of the company and how he overcame a variety of challenges to get there. It's said that the series is based on the most famous biography of Enzo Ferrari, known as Ferrari Rex, written by Luca Del Monte. And if this isn't pretty cool itself, wait till you hear who will be making it. The creator of Peaky Blinders, Stephen Knight, and director Stefano Sollima have taken it upon themselves to create this masterpiece. With such a capable team on board, we're expecting no less than a masterpiece. Knight, in his own words, is pretty excited to cover Enzo's dramatic, personal, and professional journey. According to him, this series will be celebrating a very complex and fascinating human being. Well, with all this hype, we really can't wait to see this. The show is basically focused on a 5-year period in the life of Enzo Ferrari. It will star well-known actors such as Adam Driver, Penelope Cruz, and Shailene Woodley. Now, we're particularly excited to see Woodley appear in an on-screen role after a considerable period of time. Fingers crossed. Next, we have Ferrari's boss promising unique cars with technology everyone is shifting towards. Electric cars are very big right now, and why shouldn't they be? With everyone advocating for a cleaner and greener environment, different car manufacturers are taking this road. Ferrari is also working towards developing electric and hybrid models and hopes to get 80% of its sales by 2030. The CEO of Ferrari, Vigna, vows to produce unique cars while they make this huge shift. According to Vigna, the cars will use an electric engine to enhance their performance and gain competitive advantages over their rivals. But of course, Ferrari needs to go beyond just making good cars. Their models must be able to perform well with electricity, just like they did with the fossil fuel alternatives. But this will be a huge challenge as the present EV batteries end up falling short compared to their ICE alternatives. The company's chairman, John Elkann, is making sure that the cars being produced are distinctly Ferrari. For this purpose, the company will be investing 4.4 billion euros, and most of it will go into product development. Lastly, let's see why Ferrari won't let computers control their cars. Ferrari isn't a huge fan of self-driving, even though everyone in the market is going for this technology. Something pretty interesting happened recently. Ferrari hosted several AI experts who were all set to pitch ideas related to autonomous driving to the CEO Benedetto Vigna. Instead of listening to them, Vigna asked them to take a drive in a Ferrari on the Fiorano racetrack after the electrification strategy was unveiled. Turns out that when the AI experts got out of the car, they went up to CEO Vigna and said that their presentation is useless. That's pretty cool if you ask us. According to Vigna, when people buy a car, they're also investing in the joy that comes with driving. So, of course, no computer should be allowed to take that out of the deal. So, there you have it. Computers take out the fun from driving, which is why the company will only use advanced driver assistance in their cars. That's a wrap for this video, guys. What do you think about the new Ferrari lineup for 2026? Does their first EV sound cool enough for you? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this. See you in the next one.